the same. Do the third and fourth again. The same. This is gonna work.
Welcome back to Spring Hill for more Dixie Youth Baseball here on JockJive.com. I'm Mike Rideout. Anthony Crum alongside. He'll be calling some play-by-play a little bit later as we wrap up our coverage today with another Ozone game. It's the Mariners and the Indians. The visiting team, they're Mariners. Their manager, Jeff Higgins. Assistant coaches, Lee Clark and Frank Rizzuto. Their starters, leading off and playing shortstop, will be number 2, Zach Hotop. Batting second at third base, number 99, Brandon Higgins. Batting third at second base, number 5, Mikey Rizzuto. The cleanup hitter's the pitcher, number 9, Ethan Higgins. Batting fifth and catching, number 35, Travis Clark. Batting sixth at first base, number 8, Josh Hill. Batting seventh, number 55, Cameron Najak. Batting eighth in center field, number 1, Ethan Carno. Batting ninth in right field, number 4, Nathan Gullick. Batting 10th, the left fielder, number 3, Mason Gabicki. And a sure if Austin Reese would be here. He was listed on the lineup, but doubtful he will be here today. By the way, the Mariners are sponsored by Cheyenne Associates. Defensively for the Indians, Matt DeHart will be on the mound. He is a right-hander. Trevor Brady behind the plate catching. Around the horn in the infield, left to right. Rylan Thompson at third base. Justin Cicera at shortstop. Jake Johnson at second. Jacob Reef at first. Chris Tillis is in left field. Dylan Crane is in center. And Ian Finnan is in right field. And the first pitch of the ball game is taken for ball one, and we are underway. Glad to have you aboard wherever you may be. Thanks for tuning in to our coverage, as this is the fifth of our broadcast today. We broadcast 3 junior rookies games. Brewers defeated the Pirates this morning 14-4. The Yankees edged the Mets 15-12, and the Braves rallied to beat the Astros 13-9. This one's popped up to make the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on shortstop Zach Hotop. And in the game just prior, 10 unanswered runs after the Rays had taken a 3-0 lead. The Marlins rally to win at 10-3. 1-2 pitch outside, and the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Folks, if you'd like to participate during the broadcast by sending your shout-outs via text message, grab a pen. Ground ball to the shortstop. Scooped up by Cicera. The throw across. A little bit late, not in time. It's going to be an infield hit for Hotop. Leadoff here in the top of the first inning. That sends up Brandon Higgins, the third baseman. And our first shout-out says, Ethan and Brandon, good luck from Mom and Dad Higgins. If you'd like to send a shout-out, here's that number. It's area code 352-258-8450. Remember, send your shout-outs via text message to 352 area code 258-8450. Throw over to first, not in time. If you're new to the shout-outs, basically what we're looking for, who's it to, who's it from, and if you're watching outside the area, we'd like to know where you're watching. We've had people around the country sending in their shout-outs today. We had someone in Helsinki, Finland, send a shout-out earlier this morning. As that pitch got to the backstop, and that allows Hotop to get to second on the wild pitch. Brandon Higgins wears number 99. Starting at third base today for the Mariners. Head in the count, 2 balls and no strikes. The 2-0 pitch. Ground ball past the pitcher over to second. On to first in time. 4-3 put out. Hotop moves to third, and there's your first out of the inning. So 1 out, 1 on for Mikey Rizzuto. Starting at second base. First pitch across the plate there for strike one. The 0-1 pitch from DeHart. Fouled back, 0-2. Zach Hotop over at third base. 1 out and an 0-2 count on Mikey Rizzuto. The pitch. Foul back again. We'll be back again next Saturday. And it's hard to believe it will be the first Saturday of May. Where's 2017 gone already? Almost halfway done with it. Didn't we just celebrate Christmas? 1 ball, 2 strikes. The 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Chased a high fastball, and that's the first strikeout of the game for Matt DeHart. Now, I will say this. Even though it seems like it's flown by, we got a lot of fun coming up soon. High bouncing ball to third. The throw across by Thompson in time. 5-3 put out. Mariners threatened, but they failed to score. I'll finish my thought when we come back. Mariners failed to score. Cleveland Indians coming to bat right after this time out here on JockJive.com.
What makes Dixie Youth a good rule is required participation. During the local season, every player on every team is required to play in every game, and all tournament players are required to bat at least once in every game. It's not a perfect rule, but it's much more than most youth baseball organizations do, and it allows each baseball player to be an active participant. Just being a part of each win or loss means so much to the child. They just want to belong, and Dixie Youth Baseball sees to it that they do by making this a regular rule. We think this is a step in the right direction, the child's direction. We invite your support and contributions to the Dixie Youth Scholarship Fund. Offering financial assistance to hundreds of former players was not accomplished easily. Funds for these scholarships came from many sources, including donations. We ask you to consider making a contribution and by doing so, help more graduates from Dixie Youth Leagues to continue their education. All money collected for the Scholarship Fund is given for scholarships. No funds are kept for administrative purposes. If you would be interested in knowing more about the scholarship program, contact one of the officials at this tournament. They will provide information and explain what to do. On behalf of those who have received scholarships in the past years, may we express our appreciation for your support of the scholarship program. Thanks to you, it's working.
Hey, business.
All right, welcome back here to Spring Hill as we head to the bottom of the first. It's been a busy Saturday for Jock Jive with the GCAA softball tournament. Georgia Military has defeated East Georgia 9-2 to force the if necessary game. Jock Jive crews also at the ACCC softball tournament in Alabama junior college softball, where Wallace Hansville defeated Central Alabama 4-2. And I mentioned it's going to be a fun couple of months coming up, beginning in June and then running through August. You got district tournaments, all-star play, state tournaments, and World Series events, and Jock Jive will be there all summer long, providing plenty of coverage. It's our Summer of Dixie coming up. Looking forward to that. For the Cleveland Indians here in the bottom of the first, Jacob Reef will lead it off. His nickname, Lefty. He bats left, throws left. And the first pitch from the right-hander is taken low and outside for ball one. Here's your starters for the Indians. Their manager, Steve Reef, assistant coaches Shane Thompson and David Cicera. Leading off is Jacob Reef, the first baseman. Batting second, the shortstop, number 9, Justin Cicera. As the next pitch is there for a call strike. Batting third, the pitcher, number 4, Matt DeHart. Batting fourth, the third baseman, number 5, Rylan Thompson. Batting fifth in center field, number 5, Dylan Crane. Batting sixth at second base, number 7, Jake Johnson. Batting 7th, number 6, Ian Finnan, as that one's outside for a ball. Batting 8th, the catcher, number 12, Trevor Brady. Aaron Borgia was a last-minute scratch, so Wyatt Nixon, number 8, is batting 9th. And the left fielder, number 10, Chris Tillis, is batting 10th. Thanks to Comfort Systems sponsoring Indians baseball. 2-1 pitch hit past the pitcher off his glove, but the shortstop will have no throw. Unofficially, we'll call that an infield hit. And that will send up Justin Cicera. But again, we'll be back here. I'll be back next Saturday for the first Saturday in May. First pitch outside for a ball to Cicera. I'll also be here on May 13th. But Anthony Crum, who's going to provide some play-by-play later in this game, will be here for Saturday, May 20th. A hit in the gap in right center. It's going to roll all the way to the fence. Reef with good speed, slowing up now as he comes around the back. Will put runners on the corners with nobody out. Justin Cicera with a base hit. That sends up the pitcher, Matt DeHart. Wearing number 4. Higgins will work from the stretch with runners on the corners. He steps off and looks at first, does not throw. Higgins' first pitch, a runner does go to second, and the ball hits DeHart, caught him in the helmet, and that's going to load up the bases. Reef at third, Cicera at second, DeHart for the cleanup hitter, Ryland Thompson. Timeout called as Travis Clark, the catcher, goes out to talk with his starting pitcher. Defensively for the Mariners, around the horn left to right, Brandon Higgins at third base, Zach Hotop at shortstop, Mike Rizzuto at second, Josh Hill at first. Travis Clark, as I mentioned, behind the plate catching, the right-hander Ethan Higgins on the mound. And in the outfield left to right, it's Mason Gabicki, Ethan Carno, and Nathan Gullick. Nobody out, bases loaded for the Indians. No score, bottom of the first. First pitch to Ryland Thompson. Fastball inside for ball 1. Game scheduled for 7, but we do have a 2-hour time limit. We have to begin atop of it before that 2-hour time limit is up. We got to the top of the 6th last game, as this pitch is inside, by 2 minutes, I think. I think we had about 2 minutes to spare. Two balls and no strikes. 2-0 pitch won't be made. Throw goes to third, not in time. Folks, if you'd like to participate during the broadcast and send shout-outs via text message, once again, the number is area code 352-258-8450. Swing and a miss at the next pitch to make it 2-1. Again, that number, 352-258-8450. We got another shout-out. This one says, "Great job, Mariners, from so proud of the men you are becoming." The 2-1 delivery inside for ball 3, 3-1. There is no room for Ryland Thompson. The Indians have the bases loaded with nobody out. Higgins gets the sign he likes, his 3-1 delivery. Well, that might have been ball 4, but it was close enough to take a swing at it. Fouled off first base side, and the count now 3-2. Full count on Ryland Thompson. Dylan Crane on deck. The 3-2 pitch from Higgins. Ground ball left side to the shortstop and past the glove of Hotop. Bobbled in the outfield a couple of times. Will score. Run number 3 on the way, and a high throw will put him in there safely. So 3 runs come across the plate on the hit by Thompson. Unofficially, we'll say that is a hit and then an error, as that ball was bobbled in the outfield, and that allowed multiple runners to score. We know it was another error on the throw in, so actually 2 errors on the play. And still nobody out. The Indians lead 3-0. Now, the good news for the Mariners, in our last game, the Rays scored 3 in the top of the first. They had the bases loaded with nobody out. Looked like they were going to blow the game wide open. A double play got the Mariners, or the Marlins, out of the inning, and the Marlins came back with 10 unanswered runs. Not sure what the discussion is here at home plate. Any idea, Anthony?
I can't read lips.
You can't read lips? It's Jeff Higgins, the manager for the Mariners, talking with a home plate umpire, but also the Indians manager, Steve Reif, in on the conversation, but he's at a distance. There was a mention of contact, maybe interference on the base paths.
Nothing comes of it.
Yep. Just a long discussion, but nothing as a result. Dylan Crane. But they throw to second. They got the runner picked off. Caught in a pickle now. And they run him down as the tagout is made by Zach Hotop. Ryland Thompson picked off for the first out of the inning. One out, base is empty for Crane. Shows bunt, lays it down. Right back to the pitcher. Higgins' throw to first will be in time. Well, that would have gotten the runner easily to third, but now there's 2 away. 2 gone for Jake Johnson. Actually, they did not give me his nickname, but I remember his nickname is State Farm. Jake Johnson. Swing and a miss here to even the count at 1-1. Next pitch brushes him off the plate inside. And the 2-1 delivery. Didn't mean to go around, but he did. And the count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch. Bouncing ball foul to first. The Indians with 3 runs on unofficially 3 hits and 2 errors. Swing and a miss. Higgins ends the inning with a strikeout, but the Indians draw first blood with those 3 runs. We head to the second. It's the Indians 3, the Mariners nothing. You're watching Ozone coverage here on JockJive. Back with more baseball in Spring Hill right after this.
Hey, business owners, looking for a way to reach and rock your potential customer base into checking out your products and services? Then you need to advertise on JockJive.com. We broadcast hundreds of sporting events annually all over the country. Football, baseball, basketball, softball, it's all right here. Whether live or archived, it's on JockJive. Reach the masses. Call 334-488-1385 or email info@JockJive.com. JockJive.com. We are literally taking the world by storm. Last year, more than 3,000 cities worldwide turned into our coverage of football, baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball. From T-ball to the NCAA Division I athletics, JockJive crews have traveled this nation to provide you the finest in sports coverage. So the next time you need the spotlight glaring on your sports venture, think JockJive.com. Maybe not the only internet sports channel, but the best one.
Are you aware of the scholarship program available to participants in Dixie Youth Baseball? Hundreds of men and women have won scholarships and used them to help pay for their education after graduating from high school. 70 $2,000 scholarships were given away this year. To apply for a scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, complete the application, and mail it by March 1st to be considered for one of these awards. If you played Dixie Youth Baseball in past years and you will be a senior in high school next year, we encourage you to think about this opportunity. Many are glad they did.
Just speaking with our home plate umpire, Luke Lafferty, in between innings. Official start time has been noted as a 5:40 start. Again, we have a 2-hour time limit on these games, so we have to begin an inning before that 2-hour time limit is up. So we'd have to, whatever inning we're going into by 7:40, whether it be the 5th, 6th, or even maybe the 7th, if we can make it that far. They rarely do, but we'll see. For the Mariners, batters 5, 6, and 7, Travis Clark to lead it off against Matt DeHart. First pitch, going outside, ball 1. 1-0 pitch. That one hit high in the air and pretty deep. That one is over the head of the left fielder, up on the warning track. Runner going to second, the throw wide of the bag. It's a stand-up double by Travis Clark to lead things off here in the second. The ball was hit so high, I didn't think it had a chance to get out of here, but then as the left fielder was drifting back, I thought, my goodness, that ball is hit further than I thought. Travis Clark just missed a home run. Here's first baseman Josh Hill. It is a warm day here in Spring Hill. As that wild pitch will send the runner Clark to third. Let's get back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450, 352-258-8450. This is a shout-out to number 8, Wyatt Nixon, and the rest of the Indians from Junior Nixon. Go Tribe. Count now one ball and one strike to Josh Hill. One pitch inside, ball 2. Another Gator has been taken in the draft. They've had a bunch of them. Joey Ivey to the Dallas Cowboys. I tell you, Florida's had a really, really nice draft. The 3-1 pitch. That's hit out of play right side. Full count. The 3-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. Good pitch. kind of tailed away down and low from the batter. Good pitch by Matt DeHart. That's his second strikeout of the game. Here's Cameron Najak. First pitch right down the middle. Called strike one. Travis Clark down at third base, hoping to get that run across for the Mariners. They trail 3-0 here in the second. Next pitch. That's fouled off out of play. No balls, 2 strikes. We got another shout out. You can send a shout out via text message to 352-258-8450. We'll get to it after this pitch. The 0-2 pitch from DeHart. Boy, it's inside and almost hit the batter. Well, it looks like they called a dead ball. Yeah, or hit batsman, a dead ball. That just did hit him. He almost got out of that one. If you're going to get a hit by a pitch, that's the kind you want to get hit by right there. The one that just barely nicked you. That maybe caught the uniform but didn't catch the body. The bad part about it is the runner had to go back to third. But the good part, the Mariners have runners on the corners. 1 out. Runner going to second as the first pitch is there to Ethan Carno for strike 1. Let's go back to your shout-outs. This one is a shout-out to Dylan Crane for being one of the best outfielders I know. So proud of you, bud. Love Mom, T, and Hunter. Thank you, guys. Swinging a foul tip. Strike 2. Travis Clark at third base. Cameron Najak at second. 1 out. Tying run at the plate for the Mariners. They trail 3-0. That one a little bit low for ball 1. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. DeHart from the stretch and the pitch. That one is slapped on a couple of hops over to third. They look the runner back. Now they're going to throw to second. The run will score. And they've got the runner caught in a pickle. And the throw, well, the player in front makes the catch. The one in front of the bag instead of the one at the bag. And both runners are going to be safe. That was the second baseman, Jake Johnson, coming over there, and just they weren't able to record that out. That's going to be a fielder's choice for Ethan Carl. He'll pick up the RBI as Travis Clark scored from third. Najak's at second, Carno's at first for Nathan Gullick. So the tying run aboard as the first pitch is fouled back for strike 1. 3-1 our score here in the top of the second inning. DeHart works quickly. His 0-1 pitch. Runners on the move, both of them. This one slap foul out of play. Count now 0-2. Throw goes to second, not in time. Oh, 2 pitch there. They both go again. This is popped up in the shallow left field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Runners coming home. The throw instead will go to second. Gullick will get an RBI, and it's a 1-run ball game. Najak scoring. He was running on the play. Carno holds up at second. 3-2 here in the second. Well, remember the good news that I gave the Mariners last inning when it was nothing? Runner going to third as this is bunted foul. I noted that the Rays scored 3 in the first in their game against the Marlins, but the Marlins scored 10 unanswered to win. The Indians scored 3 in the first, but so far the Mariners with 2 unanswered. Looking for more. 0-1 pitch. Right down the middle. Call strike. Both runners on the move. The throw to third, not in time. Stolen base for Carno and a stolen base for Gullick. So both runners in scoring position now with 1 out. Top of the order on deck. Next pitch. That one's hit foul behind home plate. Count remains no balls and 2 strikes to Mason Gabicki. DeHart from the stretch is 0-2 pitch. Inside corner, called strike 3. Third strikeout for Matt DeHart. That sends up Zach Hotop. Timeout called as first baseman Jacob Reif was walking to his pitcher, but now we'll head back to first. Hotop with an infield hit his first at bat. And he's going to lay down a bunt. DeHart got to it quickly, fires it over in the first, and dug out of the dirt nicely there by Reif. 1-3 on the putout, and that will do it for the Mariners in the second. They do get 2 runs on a couple of hits. Also a hit batsman, and 2 left on base. We head to the bottom of the second. It's now the Indians 3, the Mariners 2, right here on JockJive.com.
Are you a friend of JockJive on Facebook? Do you follow us on Twitter? Have you subscribed to our YouTube? If you aren't, don't, and haven't, please do. We are growing exponentially and want you to keep up with us. Plus, we want to stay in touch with you. So go to the homepage of JockJive.com to like us, follow us, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll jock and roll together. Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. There's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right. We have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
Here in the bottom of the second, Indians will send up 7, 8, and 9. Ian Finnan will lead it off against Ethan Higgins. Strike, the 0-1 pitch. A bouncing ball over to second, but a convenient hop to Rizzuto. I think that's still Rizzuto. Throw to first in time. 4-3 put out, 1 away. That sends up the catcher, Trevor Brady. We do have a shout out at 352-258-8450. This one says, let's go Ethan K. Let's have a big game today. Love Mom and Dad. Thank you, guys. Swing and a miss at the first pitch for strike 1. There's a strike called. No balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, bases empty for the Indians. They lead it 3-2. Next pitch in behind the batter. Let's get to another shout out. This is to Travis Clark, number 35, from his cousins, the Hardy family. Thank you, guys. If you'd like to send a shout out, that's how it's done. Area code 352-258-8450. Send your shout out via text message. Area code 352-258-8450. 258-8450. Got a piece of that. 1-2 the count. Actually, that's Cameron Najak at second now, 55. Number 9, Justin Cicera, heading down to the bullpen for the Indians. As this one's fouled back. Cicera, right-hander, taking his warm-up tosses. One and two the count with 1 out. Bottom of the second, Indians 3, Mariners 2. The 1-2 pitch. Outside, ball 2. This is popped up, but out of play right side. Two balls, 2 strikes. The 2-2 pitch from Ethan Higgins. And the dirt for ball 3. Full count. Fouled off at home plate. Indians with 3 runs in the first. Batting with 1 out here in the second. Fouled up against the fence behind home plate. Good at bat here by Trevor Brady. The 3-2 pitch again. Full on a change up. Good pitch. Second strikeout for Higgins, and the second out of the inning. 2 gone for Wyatt Nixon. Number 9 hitter in the order. There's a shout out that says, way to catch, Travis. Great job. Don't forget, folks, whenever possible, let us know who you are. So that way, when they hear the shout-out by listening or watching the archive, they'll know who sent the shout-out. Base is empty with 2 outs for Nixon. The pitch from Higgins. Right down the middle, called strike 1. The 0-1 delivery. That one is hit just foul down the first base line. No balls, 2 strikes. The 0-2 delivery. Inside and high for ball 1. Looking ahead to the third, Mariners will send out batters 2, 3, and 4. Anthony Crum will provide play-by-play coming up. That's a wild pitch, but no harm done. No one on base. Count evens at 2-2. Anthony will call the third and fourth innings. Anthony also will be here May 20th to call the day's action for Jock Jive. 2-2 pitch. That is low for ball 3. Full count. Three-two delivery. Called strike 3, inside part of the plate. So Higgins ends with back-to-back strikeouts. For the first time, we have a 1-2-3 inning. We move to the third. Our score remains 3-2 Indians over the Mariners. Back with more baseball right after this at JockJive.com.
Are you a friend of JockJive on Facebook? Do you follow us on Twitter? Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? If you aren't, don't, and haven't, please do. We are growing exponentially and want you to keep up with us. Plus, we want to stay in touch with you. So go to the homepage of JockJive.com to like us, follow us, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll jock and roll together. Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve...
Welcome back, everyone, to Ozone Baseball here on JockJive.com. We have a close game going on, headed in to the top of the third. The Indians leading them 3-2. We have a pitching change for the Indians. Justin Cicera, number 9, is going to be taking over on the mound. Replacing him at shortstop is going to be number 4, Matt DeHart, the old pitcher. We have a new catcher. It's going to be number 5, Ryan Thompson. And then the third baseman has changed to number 12, Dylan Crane. Leading off for the Mariners after they picked up 2 runs in the top of the second is going to be number 99, Brandon Higgins. And he swings at the first pitch, shoots it into left field. And he's going to be on with a leadoff single. He lined that first pitch right out to left field to Tills. As we have a shout-out coming in. Have fun, good luck, and love you, Travis Clark, number 35 from Coach Eva. Travis Clark plays on the Mariners. He's number 35. He's been the pitcher. So left field was not Tills. It was going to be Ian Finnan out there.
And then
He
right
moved.
field is number 8, Wyatt.
And right field is Wyatt Nixon. Bunch of position changes coming around from the Indians. So we have a Mariners runner on second after the leadoff single from Higgins, and then he later stole second. And the batter is going to be Mickey Rizzuto, who struck out in his first at-bat, swinging in his first plate appearance. He makes great contact with this one, shoots it to left field, and it's going to be a tough play out there for the left fielder, Thompson, and he's unable to come down with it. The runner on second for the Mariners, Higgins, was not able to move up on the play as he was unsure if the catch was going to be made or not. Second and first for the Mariners with no outs here in the top of the third. Justin Cicera trying to battle back from letting the first two Mariner runners on, as now Ethan Higgins, the pitcher for the Mariners, is going to be at the plate. He's 0 for 1 today. Sends one to center field. That's going to drop in the gap between the center fielder and left fielder. And the bases are going to be loaded for the Mariners with no outs. Some good hitting so far by this Mariners team. 3 back-to-back singles by Higgins, Rizzuto, and then the other, Brandon Higgins and Ethan Higgins. And that's going to bring up Travis Clark, who doubled in his first plate appearance. Hit one all the way to the fence, came around to score. And he's going to have a chance to do some damage and get the Mariners back into this one as they trail 3-2. Indians led off in the top of the first with a strong set of at-bats, and they scored 3. Came back in the second, was unable to get anything going. They ended up with the 0 in the second frame. The Mariners started off slow. They picked up no runs in the first, scored 2 in the second, and now they're threatening here in the third. First pitch into number 35, Travis Clark, is outside for a ball. Count is 1-0. As we mentioned earlier in our first game, the Rays went up 3-0 on the Marlins, but then the Marlins came back, scored 10 unanswered runs, and that game ended 10-3. This game's starting out, if runs come around to score here, pretty much the same. A 3-0 lead by the Indians may be squandered if the Mariners can come back and get a hit here from Travis Clark, who's ahead in the count 2-0. Puts a good swing on it. This one's going to be up in the air. Infield fly rule due to the loaded bases, and he is going to be out. Travis Clark gets called out on the infield fly. First out of this third inning. Bases loaded for the Mariners, bringing up Josh Hill, who struck out swinging in his first plate appearance. He was facing Matt Dehart, though, in that first plate appearance. This is Justin Cicera's first inning working for the Mariners. It's hit right to Cicera, and he goes home with it and able to save the run from coming in. Little bit of confusion. He wanted to go to second to turn 2. No one was there. So he instead looks to first, but then decides not to throw there, then came home and actually was able to save the run from coming in. So that's going to be a fielder's choice for number 8, Josh Hill. And that's going to bring up Cameron Najak, as now Cicera is 1 out, getting out of this bases loaded jam. His Indians hold on to this 1-run lead. They're winning 3-2 here. Bottom 3, 1 out. Cameron Najak, number 55 at the plate. Najak was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat and was able to get on and later stole a base and came around to score. Looking for a timely hit here to give the Mariners a tie or the lead. Tying run is at third. Go-ahead run at second. Insurance run at first. This is Justin Cicera's the pitchers for the Indians' first inning of work. Based with no outs, but he got an infield fly for the first out on Travis Clark, and then he went home on the ground ball from Josh Hill to get the second out. 1 ball, 2 strikes coming into Cameron Najak, and that one was just high. Najak backed off the plate on it. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Cicera looking for 1 more strike to get out of this inning. 2-2 pitch comes in from Cicera. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. That's going to end the inning. Cicera puts him down in order after loading up the bases And he gets out of the inning. We're headed to the bottom of the third. Indians leading 3-2. You're watching Ozone Baseball on JockJive.com.
What makes Dixie Youth Baseball different? Well, one good rule is required participation. During the local season, every player on every team is required to play in every game, and all tournament players are required to bat at least once in every game. It's not a perfect rule, but it's much more than most youth baseball organizations do, and it allows each baseball player to be an active participant. Just being a part of each win or loss means so much to the child. They just want to belong, and Dixie Youth Baseball sees to it that they do by making this a regular rule. We think this is a step in the right direction, the child's direction. We invite your support and contributions to the Dixie Youth Scholarship Fund. Offering financial assistance to hundreds of former players was not accomplished easily. Funds for these scholarships came including donations. We ask you to consider making a contribution and by doing so, help more graduates from Dixie Youth Leagues to continue their education. All money collected for the Scholarship Fund is given for scholarships. No funds are kept for administrative purposes. If you would be interested in knowing more about the scholarship program, contact one of the officials at this tournament. They will provide information and explain what to do. On behalf of those who have received scholarships in the past years, may we express our appreciation for your support of the scholarship program. Thanks to you, it's working.
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Ozone Baseball on JockJive.com. The Indians have a 3-2 lead over the Mariners. We are in the bottom of the third, and leading off for the Indians is Chris Tills, number 10. His first at-bat of the game, looking to get on base and start something for the Indians. First pitch, he swung through for a strike, but he hits the second one straight into center field, but it lands right in the glove of the center fielder for the Mariners, Carno. And that's going to be the first out of the inning. Put a good swing on that ball, but just hit it straight to the center fielder. And he's going to go down. The first out in the bottom of the third. Ethan Higgins still on the mound for the Mariners as he fires in the first strike to Jacob Reef. So we have a shout out. Go Brandon and Ethan Higgins from Mom and Dad. So we got the brothers on the Indians team. Ethan, they're actually on the Mariners, excuse me. Brothers on the Mariners team. Ethan is the one pitching right now, as he has a 1-1 count in to number 1, Jacob Reef. Indians have one down after the flyout from Chris Tills. Jacob Reef singled in his first plate appearance today. Lefty is what they call him. He's the only left-handed hitter on this team. The count is now even at 2-2. One out, bottom first. Indians leading the Mariners 3-2 here at Spring Hill. Playing Ozone Baseball. As he swings over that one, Reef does. Fouls it off. Count stays 2-2. The Indians got something going in that first inning where they were able to score 3. They got 4 straight men on base without recording an out. But then they came back in the bottom of the second, ground out and 2 straight strikeouts. They went 1-2-3. And now an out in the third. 4 straight have been retired by Ethan Higgins. And Jacob Reef swings right over the 2-2 pitch. For strike 3, 5 straight down for the Indians. Ethan Higgins getting into a groove on the mound for the Mariners. That's going to bring up number 9, Justin Cicera. Cicera, the new pitcher for the Indians. He pitched the top of that third, got in a bases loaded jam, but was able to work his way out of it and keep this game at a 3-2 He takes the first pitch down the heart of the plate for strike one. Pitcher versus pitcher matchup. Cesara swings on the 0 pitch, fouls it out to the right, and he quickly falls behind 0-2. He got a single in his first at bat, later came around to score in that 3-run first inning for the Indians. 0-2 pitch from Higgins, right down the heart of the plate for strike three. 1, 2, 3 go the Indians. We are headed to the top of the fourth after 2 straight strikeouts from Higgins. And up next comes the Mariners. You're watching Ozone Baseball on JockJive.com.
Hey, business owners, looking for a way to reach and rock your potential customer base into checking out your products and services? Then you need to advertise on JockJive.com. We broadcast hundreds of sporting events annually all over the country. Football, baseball, basketball, softball, it's all right here. Whether live or archived, it's on JockJive. Reach the masses. Call 334-488-1385 or email info@JockJive.com. JockJive.com. We are literally taking the world by storm. Last year, more than 3,000 cities worldwide turned into our coverage of football, baseball, softball, basketball, volleyball. From T-ball to the NCAA Division I athletics, JockJive crews have traveled this nation to provide you the finest in sports coverage. So the next time you need the spotlight glaring on your sports venture, think JockJive.com. Maybe not the only internet sports channel, but the best one.
Are you aware of the scholarship available to participants in Dixie Youth Baseball? Hundreds of men and women have won scholarships and used them to help pay for their education after graduating from high school. 70 $2,000 scholarships were given away this year. To apply for a scholarship, you must be a senior in high school, complete the application, and mail it by March 1st to be considered for one of these awards. If you played Dixie Youth Baseball in past years and you will be a senior in high school next year, we encourage you to think about this opportunity. Many are glad they did.
Welcome back, everyone, to Ozone Baseball here on JockJive.com. As we're getting set for the top of the fourth, we have another shout-out. Have fun, good luck, and love you, Travis Clark, number 30, Coach Eva. Headed into the top of the fourth, the Mariners coming up to bat. They trail the Indians by 1, score of 3-2. The Mariners threatened in that top of the third inning. After a single by Higgins, Rizzuto Higgins loaded the base paths. 3 straight outs recorded by Justin Cesara. Got the Indians out of the inning with no Mariners runs coming across. We'll see what the Indians can do this time with number 1, Ethan Carno, coming up to the plate, leading off for the Mariners. He reached base on a fielder's choice back in the second, got an RBI for the Mariners. He brought in one of the 2 runs that the Mariners have scored today, but he's quickly down 0-2 to Cesara as he swings past this pitch, but it ends up at the backstop, but a great throw by the catcher there. That's number 10 for the Indians, Chris Tills, who made a great throw. Tillis made a great throw from the catcher position to get the out at first on the strikeout of Carno. Number 4 for the Mariners coming up with 1 out now. It's Nathan Gulick. He swings on the second pitch, gets it over the pitcher to Cesara. Cesara brings it in, goes and steps on first. 2 quick outs for the Mariners here in the top of the fourth. Still 3-2 as Cesara looks like he's settling in. Now recording 5 straight outs against this Mariners team after when he first came in, the Mariners loaded up the bases on him. Number 3, Mason Gabicki is at the plate. He swings over the first pitch for strike 1. Second pitch into Gabicki, right back to Cesara. He throws it to the first baseman. 1, 2, 3 go the Mariners, and we're headed to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching Ozone Baseball here on JockJive.com.
Dixie Youth Baseball is dedicated to building the youth within our community to become responsible citizens tomorrow. The real goal of the program is to teach fair play, honesty, and love of God and country. Those who play Dixie Youth Baseball are generally better for life as a result of the lessons they learn in how to meet and accept as members of a team and in the game of competition. Help us in the Dixie Youth program by offering your services and adult volunteer. Lend a hand to our youth. There's no greater calling.
Are you a friend of JockJive on Facebook? Do you follow us on Twitter? Have you subscribed to our YouTube channel? If you aren't, don't, and haven't, please do. We are growing exponentially and want you to keep up with us. Plus, we want to stay in touch with you. So go to the homepage of JockJive.com to like us, follow us, and subscribe on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. We'll jock and roll together. Here are some things you...
Welcome back, everyone. You're watching Ozone Baseball here on JockJive.com. We're in the bottom of the 4th. The Indians coming to plate some insurance runs as they have the 3-2 lead over the Mariners. They haven't had a lot of success as of late, though, as they've had their last 6 batters put down in order, as Ethan Higgins has really gotten into a groove for this Mariners team. And in those 6 batters that have gone down in order, 4 of them actually have gone down due to strikeout. Higgins has 4 strikeouts on the day. As the first batter in the bottom of this 4th inning is going to be number 4, Matt DeHart, who was the first pitcher on the day for the Indians until he came in and was replaced by Justin Cesara. He takes the first pitch high for ball 1. Oh, 0-1 pitch coming in to Cesara. That one's way too far outside. Now this is DeHart to Matt DeHart. This one's way too far outside for ball 2. DeHart was a hit by pitch in the top of the 1st, but this time he makes good contact with it. Since it's a right field, gets past the first baseman and almost past the right fielder, and he's going to make it into first with a leadoff single, looking to get something going for this Indians team. Coming up now is number 5, Ryland Thompson. Thompson picked up 3 RBIs on the day as he cleared the bases, as DeHart is going to steal second on that first pitch. He cleared the bases with a single and then advanced to second on the throw, but then was later picked off at second by the pitcher Ethan Higgins. And that was actually the first out of that first inning, and then really got Higgins into a groove as Higgins tries to pick off at second again, but this time he can't get it to go. So number 5, trying to get back on base. 1 for 1 today with that single. Runner in scoring position is at second. DeHart takes off for third, and he's in there easily as that ball got past the catcher for the Mariners, number 35, Travis Clark. A runner one base away now for the Indians as Ryland Thompson is ahead in the count. 2 balls, no strikes as the Indians try to scratch across an insurance run as they're ahead in this game 3-2. Deep fly ball out to right field, brought in by the Mariners right fielder, and they're going to have the runner at third base caught in a rundown, but the throw from the catcher from Clark to the third baseman is over his head. And the runner from third, DeHart, is going to come in to score. DeHart looked like he wanted to go back to tag up. He wasn't standing on the base when the catch was made in right field. Came in to tag up, but then a good throw home got him caught in a pickle. But the throw from the catcher to the third baseman just wasn't there. And that's going to leave us with our first out of this inning and a run across for the Indians. 4-2. Indians lead now. Number 2, Dylan Crane at the plate with nobody on. He grounded out in that first inning. And he's behind in the count. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Ethan Higgins, who's pitched the whole game so far for the Mariners. 1-2 pitch. Comes into Crane. That one's outside. Goes to the backstop. Count is even at 2-2. As the ball rolls out into the outfield. We'll get it back into Higgins, and he'll be able to throw the 2-2 pitch into Crane. Two and two pitch into Crane with the bases empty. Too far outside. Count is now full. 3 balls, no strikes. Indians have the 4-2 lead over the Mariners after they've scratched 1 run across so far in this 4th inning. Their first 3 runs all came in the first. Hard hit ball to the first baseman. First baseman able to block that one with his shin. Range over, knock it down. Josh Hill over there at first. And then step on the bag at first. Looks like he's feeling that one as it hit him right in the shin. Coach is going to come out and check on him. This isn't soccer. You're not wearing shin guards. And that baseball hurts a lot more than a soccer ball definitely does. That was a hard hit ground ball from Dylan Crane. But he's going to be out at first base. It's going to be 2 down now for the Indians, and that's going to bring up Jake Johnson. His nickname is State Farm, as I learned earlier today. Number 7 struck out in his first plate appearance. 2 down now, bottom 4. Indians have the 4-2 lead over the Mariners. Once we get done with this inning, I'll throw the play-by-play back over to my partner, Mike Rideout, and he's going to carry us home for 2, maybe the last 3 innings. And then we'll be done for the day. Been here since 9 a.m. this morning as the count is now 1-1. 5th game of the day for Mike and I. 1-1 pitch comes in. And that's over the heart of the plate. One and two pitch swung right over top by Jake Johnson, and that's going to end the inning with a strikeout. Indians are able to get 1 run across, and we're headed to the top of the 5th. Indians leading 4-2. You're watching Ozone Baseball on JockJive.com.
Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale Video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
All right, welcome back to Spring Hill, Dixie Youth Baseball here on JockJive.com. Thanks again to Anthony Crum. He'll be here on Saturday, May the 20th, calling all the action for the day. Getting a little bit of work today as he gets ready for that big day on Saturday, May 20th. I'll be here the next couple of Saturdays. I'll also be here on Championship Day, Saturday, May 27th. And I believe I'll be here Father's Day weekend for that 3-4 day stretch, whatever it is, that Spring Hill will host the district tournament as we get ready for our Summer of Dixie. So still a lot of baseball to go here on Jock Jive. Mariners in the top of the fifth inning, top of the order, as Zach Hotop leads it off, grounds it to first, but nobody covering the bag. And that will be an infield hit for Zach Hotop. Jake Johnson now in at second base. Also Dylan Crane behind the plate catching. And now in right field, Chris Tillis, number 10. Brandon Higgins will step in with a runner at first and nobody out. First pitch low for ball one. Here's a shout out that says, "Good luck, Ethan and Brandon," from Mom and Dad. Brandon today has singled, and also he was also thrown out at the plate. Mariners had the bases loaded in the third inning and failed to score. Bases loaded with nobody out. Next pitch. That was lined into left field for a base hit. First and second for the Mariners, who trail 4-2. So they got the tying run aboard. The go-ahead run comes to the plate. Here's Mikey Rizzuto. Mikey 1 for 2 in the game. Struck out in the first, singled to left in the third. Cesara steps off towards second, does not throw. Hotop back in safely. Hotop at second, Higgins at first. Runners take their leads. And the pitch. Called a strike, 0-1. Next pitch, runners are both moving, and that one is swung on and missed. So Hotop to third base, Higgins to second. And the count, no balls and 2 strikes to Rizzuto. That one hit hard and into left field for a base hit. 1 run will score. 2 runs are going to score. And it's a stand-up double for Mikey Rizzuto. And just like that, with 1 swing of the bat, we're tied at 4 apiece. Maybe we are saving the best for last. Our closest game today was a 3-run game. That was in the junior rookies. Yankees 15, Mets 12. We also saw the Braves rally to a 4-1 win 8-4 run win against the Astros. That one also hit to left field, and that one will get down and roll all the way to the fence. Rizzuto score, and it's a sliding double, excuse me. It was actually a closer play than I thought it was going to be. Did they call him out or safe? They called him out. Got a little ahead of myself there as Higgins is thrown out at second base. He'll get credit for a base hit and an RBI. One out for Travis Clark. But the Mariners have taken the lead 5-4 on that last hit. This one hit pretty well to center field. That one's got a chance, and it's gone. Kiss it goodbye, because it's goodbye baseball. A solo home run by Travis Clark, and the Mariners now lead it 6-4. Boy, it could have been 7-4 had Higgins not gotten thrown out at second base. But how about this run by the Mariners in the fifth? A quick touch of home plate and then run away from your teammates so they can't mob you at home plate. Straight away center field.
Into the batter's eye.
Right over the McDonald's sign out there. 6-4. 4 runs here in the fifth. Justin Cicera was cruising right along. This one's popped up to second. Johnson is there, and he'll make the catch for out number 2. Timeout, so Jake can tie his shoe. We still have about 40 minutes left. I don't know that we'll get to the 7th. But give the Mariners credit as they have rallied from an early 3-0 deficit, now leading 6-4 here in the fifth. Cameron Najak, the batter, he struck out his last at bat. He's also been hit by a pitch and scored, and he grounds this one over to third. The throw across, wide of the bag. The first baseman comes off the bag. That'll be a throwing error to keep the inning alive. Here's Ethan Carno. He reached on a fielder's choice, drove in a run in the second, and also has struck out. He's 1 for 2. Najak with a big lead at first. Cicera fakes a throw over there, just to let him know he's thinking about him. But Najak leads, maybe even bigger this time. And again, Cicera will look over there. There goes the runner as the pitch is swung on and hit left side and drifting foul, and that'll be strike on Carno. Inning began with an infield hit by Zach Hotop. Then Brandon Higgins singled. Micah Rizzuto doubled to drive in 2. Ethan Higgins singled to drive in a run. Got thrown out at second, trying to stretch it into a double. Runner going to second. The throw down there not in time. Stolen base for Cameron Najak. Travis Clark with a solo home run. Najak reached on an error. He's at second now with 2 outs. 1 ball, 1 strike to Carno. Next pitch there for a called strike, 1-2. We're in the top of the fifth. Mariners 6, Indians 4. Ground ball to third, just foul. Past the third baseman down that line. Count remains 1-2 on Ethan Carno. Don't forget, all of our broadcasts are archived. You can go back and watch them in their entirety. We also hope that you'll like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. When you subscribe to our YouTube channel, you get an email notification letting you know the broadcast is beginning. 1-2 pitch. A little bit high for ball 2. Off-speed pitch, fouled off left side. Florida Gator football team with 8 draft picks in this year's NFL draft.
One offensive player? 2? 1? I think just 1.
Let me check here. Do have some notes as that one's taken outside for a ball. This marks the 4th time since 2010 and the 7th time in UF history that 8 Gators were selected in the draft.
Safety. Davis. Angeloni. Sharp. With only 1 offensive player.
Yeah, that was a defensive-dominated Gator draft. Popped up into left field. This is playable. Left fielder coming in. Make the catch. That is Ian Finnan for the 3rd and final out. But the Mariners with a big inning as they send 8 to the plate. And they score 4 big runs, including a solo home run by Travis Clark. We head to the bottom of the 5th. It's now the Mariners 6 and the Indians 4 right here on JockJive.com.
Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We work with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
The official sports web streaming provider of Dixie Youth Baseball is JockJive.com. Now, you don't have to miss the big game, whether in another part of the state or another part of the world. Catch Dixie Youth Baseball on JockJive.com, and when the game is over, the joy of listening and watching the coverage has just begun, because every broadcast by JockJive is now archived at its conclusion. Plus, you can catch the game on your mobile phone or iPad. JockJive.com, the next best thing to being there.
Okay, we head now to the bottom of the 5th inning. We have a new pitcher, Zach Hotop, number 2. That will be it for Ethan Higgins. First pitch of the inning is there for a strike to Ian Finnan. The numbers for Ethan Higgins today went 4 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits, no walks. He hit a batter and struck out 6. This has popped up but out of play. Back to your shout-outs at 352-258-8450, 352-258-8450. This next one is for Chris Tillis. Have fun. Do your thing. Love, Mom. Next pitch. Breaking ball there for a called strike 3. Finnan caught looking, and judging by the way he's carrying the bat, he didn't like the call. Kind of dragging the bat behind him. 1 away. for Trevor Brady. First pitch from the lefty to the righty is inside for ball one. Trevor 0 for 1 with a strikeout. This one hit over to first, foul. Count evens at 1-1. A 1-1 pitch from Zach Hotop. Blew it by him. Swing and a miss. Strike two. Indians had an early 3-0 lead in the first inning. They sent 6 to the plate. Mariners scored 2 in the second to make it a 1-run game. Stayed that way until the fourth, when the Indians plated a run to go up 4-2, but the Mariners with 4 runs in the top of the fifth to take a 6-4 lead. 3 balls, 2 strikes now to Brady. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Full count with 1 out, bases empty. Hotop works quickly. His 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. He fooled him on a pitch inside. Back-to-back strikeouts for Hotop. That's 3 strikeouts in a row for Mariners pitching. That sends up Wyatt Nixon. First pitch up high, ball 1. One-zero pitch, inside and low, ball 2, 2-0. The Mariners have had at least 1 strikeout in every inning. There's a swing and a miss. 2-1. Mariners pitching struck out 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, 2 in the fifth. 2-1 pitch, high and away for ball 3, 3-1. But the Mariners, as that's ball 4, have really gotten it done lately with their offense. Again, sending 8 batters to the plate in the 5th inning to score 4 runs. And that's why they're out in front now by 2. So Wyatt Nixon draws a walk. Here is Chris Tillis. And that one lined off the glove of Hotop. Picked up at second. And no throw to first base. Everybody's safe. Infield hit for Tillis. And now the Indians threaten with 2 on and 2 outs. We'll head to the top of the order with Jacob Reef. Reef had an infield hit in the first. He's also struck out. 1 for 2. He scored 1 of their 3 runs in the first inning. One of their 4 runs overall. Matt DeHart has 2 of the 4. First pitch, fouled off left side, strike 1. Our 5th and final broadcast of the day, ending with a couple of Ozone games. This is popped up left side, the shortstop coming in. The catch is made on the run for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, the Indians threatened after the first 2 outs were recorded, but they're going to strand 2. We'll move on to the 6th. It remains 6-4 Mariners over the Indians here on JockJive.com.
Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
The official sports web streaming provider of Dixie Youth Baseball is JockJive.com. Now, you don't have to miss the big game, whether in another part of the state or another part of the world. Catch Dixie Youth Baseball on JockJive.com, and when the game is over, the joy of listening and watching the coverage has just begun, because every game broadcast by JockJive is now archived at its conclusion. Plus, you can catch the game on your mobile phone or iPad. JockJive.com, the next best thing to being there.
New pitcher coming in for the Indians is a left-hander, Jacob Reef. He is the third pitcher used today by the Indians. They'll make several other defensive changes. Justin Cicera now catching. Ryland Thompson now at first base. Chris Tillis in left field. Wyatt Nixon in right. Batters 9, 10, and 1 due up for the Mariners, who now have a 6-4 lead thanks to 4 runs in the 5th inning. Nathan Gullick will lead. He is 1 for 2 with an RBI. First pitch from the lefty to the righty. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Oh, 1 pitch. Good pitch. Breaking ball. Swing and a miss. Strike two. The 0-2 pitch. Grounded past the third baseman and the shortstop into left field for a base hit. Big turn at, but he'll hustle back. Nathan Gullick with a leadoff hit. And that will send up Mason Gabicki. Gabicki has struck out and grounded out. He is the only player, in fact, not to reach base today. Runner going to second. The pitch is a ball. The throw to second. The tag, no. Not in time. Stolen base for Gullick. And an opportunity now for Gabicki, not only to get on base for the first time, but also possibly pick up an RBI. And that one hit over to first. Out recorded there by Thompson. Runner moves to third, one away. One out, one on for Zach Hotop as we head back to the top of the order now. Hotop had an infield hit last inning and scored. Mariners scored 4 runs last inning to take this 6-4 lead. Lefty-lefty matchup. First pitch reached down for and pops it up to third. Catch made there. 2 away. Two outs for Brandon Higgins. He's had a good day with 2 hits, a run scored. First pitch there for strike 1. Oh, 1 pitch. Almost hit him. He was able to step over it. The 1-1 pitch. A little bit high for ball 2. Two balls, 1 strike, 2 outs. Mariners up by 2. Popped up, right side, but hooking out of play. So 2 balls and 2 strikes on Higgins. With that runner down at third and 2 outs. Let's get back to another shout out. We are proud of you, Ethan, from Kaylee and Chloe, guys. There's ball 3, full count. 3-2 now. Jacob Reef looking for his first strikeout. Three-two pitch, grounded over to second. Knocked down, going to be a close play. The throw to first, dropped at first. Well, that'll be an error that allows that run to score. And it's now 7-4. The Mariners get a big insurance run. Another shout out says, go Brandon from Kaylee and Chloe. Here's Mikey Rizzuto. He doubled in 2 runs last at bat. He's 2 for 3 today. He's also scored a run. Reef from the stretch and the pitch. Breaking ball a little bit low for ball 1. Mariners with 2 in the second, 4 in the 5th, 1 here in the 6th. Indians with 3 in the first, 1 in the 4th. Next pitch there for a called strike. That evens the count at 1-1. The 1-1 pitch. That's high and away, ball 2. This one grounded sharply but foul down that third base line. That will even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our home plate umpire, Luke Lafferty's done a pretty good job calling the balls and strikes today. Two and 2 with 2 outs. Reef from the stretch. And he delivers high for ball 3. Full count. The 3-2 delivery. Got a piece of it to stay alive. Looking to the bottom of the 6th inning, the Indians will send up batters 2, 3, and 4. There goes the runner as the pitch is popped up right side, foul territory, and the catcher will come over and make the catch. Ryland Thompson records out number 3. But the Mariners do get a big insurance run. They've scored 5 runs over the last 2 innings, and as we head to the bottom of the 6th, it's now the Mariners 7 and the Indians 4. You're watching Ozone coverage from Spring Hill. Dixie Youth Baseball right here on JockJive.com.
Here are some things you may not know about JockJive. We're one of the nation's premier sports production companies. From audio only to full-scale video productions, we can do it all. Our list of clients is continuing to grow and includes the Southwestern Athletic Conference, Gulf South Conference, NJCAA, Georgia Collegiate Athletic Association, Alabama Community College Conference, Perfect Game, Great American Rivalries, youth sports like Dixie, American Legion, Babe Ruth, plus a litany of high schools, junior colleges, and more. We've worked with names I bet you recognize, like Johnny Manziel, Trent Dilfer, Doug Williams, Monty Coleman, and more. And we travel to practically every part of the country, from New York to California, Florida to Minnesota, and everywhere in between. Here's another thing you may not know. We are ready to come to work for you. That's right, we have a package to fit practically every budget. Just go to JockJive.com and contact us to get international coverage for your next sporting event. Your athletes deserve the best. They deserve JockJive.
The official sports web streaming provider of Dixie Youth Baseball is JockJive.com. Now, you don't have to miss the big game, whether in another part of the state or another part of the world. Youth Baseball on JockJive.com, and when the game is over, the joy of listening and watching the coverage has just begun, because every game broadcast by JockJive is now archived at its conclusion. Plus, you can catch the game on your mobile phone or iPad. JockJive.com, the next best thing to being there.
All right, we have a new pitcher, and it's the other Higgins, Brandon Higgins, coming in. Ethan started the game. Zach Hotop went 1 inning, allowed no runs on no hits. He walked 1 and struck out 2. Two, 3, and 4 for the Indians. They trail by 3 here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Justin Cicera is 1 for 2 today. Single to right center in the first and scored. Also struck out. First pitch there for strike 1. Time is of the essence. That pitch inside. Just under 15 minutes left. But also, they're running out of outs, even if we do get to the 7th. That pitch there for a strike called, 1-2. Cicera struck out swinging his last at bat. Brandon's brother Ethan struck him out. That pitch low in the dirt for ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nobody out, nobody on. Just underway here in the 6th. That pitch is outside to the backstop, and the count is now full. There really haven't been that many base runners since that first inning. 2, in fact, since the first. Swing and a miss. Cicera's out on strikes. He got fooled there. That ball kind of tailed away from him. 1 gone for Matt DeHart. But it is kind of strange how we've had similar type games in our 2 Ozone games. Rays scored 3 runs in the first. Marlins finished with 10 unanswered runs. Indians scored 3 in the first today, as that one is grounded deep in the hole at short. Going to be a long throw wide of the bag. An infield hit for Matt DeHart. But after a 3-0 lead, in fact, they led 3-2 and then made it 4-2. So they weren't unanswered runs, but 7 of the last 8 runs that have been scored by the Mariners. Ryland Thompson, the batter. The first pitch to RT is high, runner going to second. The throw to second is not in time. It gets into the outfield, and that's going to get Thompson to third on the air. Maybe, yes. He'll get in there standing up. Stolen base, and then an E2. Indians hoping to push at least one run across the plate and extend this thing into the seventh. Our next shout-out says, go Dylan Crane, best big brother around. Love Hunter. Let's go try. That was nice. Thank you, Hunter. There's a strike called. 1-1. The one-out pitch. Good pitch. Inside part of the plate, called strike 2. Higgins looking for his second strikeout of the inning. Matt DeHart down at third base with one out. One-two pitch is grounded past the pitcher, up the middle into center field for a base hit. RBI single for Ryland Thompson. And it's now 7-5. The tying run is coming to the plate. Here's Dylan Crane. Crane 0 for 2 today. First pitch high for ball 1. Throw to first, not in time. One-oh pitch. Bouncing ball over to shortstop. They get one at second, but no relay throw. 6-4 fielder's choice for Dylan Crane as Ryland Thompson is retired. And it's up to State Farm. Jake Johnson. He's representing the tying run. Crane leads off at first as Higgins works from the stretch. There goes the runner to second, swing and a miss. The throw to second, not in time. Stolen base for Crane. Oh, one pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Oh, 2 pitch, called strike 3 on the inside part of the plate, and the inning is over. The Indians do get one run, and we still have enough time to move on to the 7th. So the final inning is coming up. Or did they call? Is that it? Okay. We still have 7 minutes left, but we're not going to argue, are we, Anthony?
Yes, not.
So that's a final as the Indians fall by the final score of 7-5. Give the Mariners credit as they battle back to score 4 runs in the 5th. They added an insurance run in the 6th. 5 runs over the last 2 innings to get the victory. 7-5. Let's do one more shout out and then we'll sign off. Nice hit, Dylan. Go Speedy. Love your number 1 fan, Mom. Thank you for that. And that's going to do it for our coverage today. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks to Anthony Crum, who made the trip down with me. And we'll see you again next Saturday. I'll be here all day providing more Spring Hill Dixie Youth Baseball coverage on JockJive.com. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everybody, and we'll see you next Saturday here on JockJive. Good night, and God bless.